In today's episode of How Long Until Satch Destroys His Mental Health, I am going to be attempting to get to round 50, only using the B23R. I won't lie, I was very naive going into this challenge, very naive indeed. I thought to myself, I've done these challenges with guns that are way worse than the B23R, such as the SMR, the War Machine, the Pharaoh, Remington 870, even the ZRG. Now, I may not have gotten to round 50 with all of those weapons, but I did come close, putting up round 35 plus attempts. So yes, I was naive going into this, and I thought that my naivety was justified. Well, I was very wrong. Before we get into this video, please do drop a like on the video, as it really does help out the channel, as well as leaving a comment as to what other challenges you want to see me put myself through and just hurt my soul even more. For those of you that may not know about the B23R or ever experienced this gun, it was the king of pistols in Black Ops 2 multiplayer when that game first released. It was everywhere. Every game you could almost guarantee at least half the lobby would be running this thing as their secondary. Not only was it popular, it was good. In close quarter fights, it would one-burst people if you hit your shots. Its insane rate of fire, paired with an extended mag and an extended barrel, made this thing an absolute monster. So comes the question. Was it this good in zombies? No, it wasn't. Now, it's not as drastic as the SMR when it comes to comparing it in multiplayer to zombies. The B23R is still an acceptable weapon to use, but it's not something you want to be using for long by any means. So that's why I decided that it's the perfect weapon to try and get to round 50 with, because why wouldn't I? Now, of course, we needed a map. Town is immediately ruled out as the B23R doesn't even have a wall buy on this map, and I'm also not even sure it's in the box on Town. I actually don't know the answer to that, and I'm way too lazy to go and figure that one out. Die Rise surprisingly isn't a bad shout. Pretty easy map to get to high rounds on, but the wall buy is in such an awful place, and I don't fancy going on an adventure for ammo every 20 seconds. Mob of the Dead and Origins? No, I don't hate myself that much. Which leaves Buried and Nuketown, to which I chose the latter. Yes, Nuketown it is. Now, I know some people grimace at the idea of doing stuff on Nuketown zombies. You either hate this map or you love it, and I very much love it. Obviously, having to wait to round 18 to have all perks and Pack-a-Punch available, it does kind of suck, but sometimes you need a little danger in your life, you know? This game starts, as all my games do, by hanging around in spawn, grinding together some points. End of round 2, Quick Revive is our first purchase, with the main event coming shortly later on round 3. I finally have the star of the show in the B23R and get to work on slaying my way through the rest of these early rounds, where I almost die immediately because this zombie just apparently refused to die, and I completely missed the fact that he was still alive, and I won't lie, it kind of scared the shit out of me. Round 5, and it was now that I realized I don't remember what rounds the Mushroom Cloud spits the perks out and Pack-a-Punch. It also didn't help that I was blasting some heavy metal in my ears, so I couldn't hear the game at all, meaning I couldn't hear the sound that plays when a perk / Pack-a-Punch is dropping. Probably would have been a good idea to turn that down, but oh well. Speaking of perks, we do get our first perk drop at the end of round 5, being Double Tap. No Jug yet, and I feel like it's this point where a lot of people start to panic when it comes to Nuketown zombies. Because of course there is that chance that Jug could be the last drop you get on round 18. And round 8 teams may not seem like a lot in today's standards, but in Black Ops 2 terms, that's basically an eternity. However, I didn't have to worry about that for too long, as the Holy Mushroom Cloud of Death listened to my prayers, otherwise known as Panic, and spit me out Jug on round 7. But this then opened up a new worry. As I said earlier, it's not just perks that the Mushroom Cloud spits out, it also has Pack-a-Punch up there too. And like I said earlier, round 18 is the last round that something will drop. And, then you have everything at your disposal. That also means Pack-a-Punch could be the round 18 drop. This wouldn't typically be a problem if I wasn't using a B23R. I'd happily take Pack-a-Punch sooner rather than later on this map. If I'm being honest, I'd actually take Pack-a-Punch as the first drop on this map if I could. Offense being the best defense and all that. At least that way I know I can somewhat comfortably kill zombies for the majority of those 18 rounds. But But the luck was once again on my side for what feels like the first time in forever, and Pack-a-Punch was our third drop of the game at the end of round 12. Now I was in a pretty good spot with everything that I needed except for Speed Cola. My job now was basically just get comfortable with training in the garden of Blue House, which was actually very relaxing in a strange way. Usually with this map, I like to use the entirety of this area. My train would start at the box, we'd move under the staircase, and then loop back around to the box. Only having a B23R to protect myself with, I opted to change things up a little bit, and that was to only use the far right side of this area. Overall, I was using less of the space, but in practice, the area was actually pretty sizable, and I very quickly got comfortable with this train. Now, that isn't to say there weren't a few close calls. This is me we're talking about after all. It's now round 18, and we have our final perk drop, which landed right beside me. Now I had a fully kitted loadout, and the confidence was booming. That wasn't until round 20. Round 20, I take my first down. I get hit once and lose all momentum, and before I knew it, I was down. The bad thing about this was, A, it's right at the beginning of round 20, and B, I now had to go and get all of my perks once again. One of which being Jug that was in the bedroom of Yellow House, which is basically just a death trap. So with 3 of my perks reclaimed, I got back to it, only to then take another down. Instead of just running off to the right here, I decide to fight a bunch of zombies, not realizing there is a shitload more in the house running right at me, and once again, I'm taking a temporary dirt nap. About 10 seconds after rising from my slumber, I take another down, but this time I'm down for good. All of this chaos happened within 90 seconds. 90 seconds from having a great run to being dead. Talk about the duality of zombies, huh? No, I can't leave it there. Round 20? Are you kidding me? Round 20 is for chumps. I then died on round 2. Now, in my defense, I have no idea what was going on with this fire truck, but seeing the textures render in and out like that honestly just pleased my brain. That was until a zombie snuck up behind me, and remember, I'm still blasting music in my ears at this point. But yeah, a zombie sneaks up behind me, hits me, which scares the absolute shit out of me, and then I die. So, yay. At this point, I'm thinking maybe, just maybe, a map change is in order. And so off to Buried I went. There is a chance that I may have forgot to hit record until round 3, but it is what it is. As you can see, this game started pretty damn good. Round 3, B23R in hand, 3 perks on the go, and I was feeling good. Round 5 and the mansion is open. We head inside and grab double tap. We then make our way through to the maze. We take out our final ghost, and our first free perk is Mule Kick, as per usual. After about 3 minutes of figuring out where to go through the maze, I make it down to Pack-a-Punch and throw the B23R in. I'm basically fully set by round 6, and all I need now is Volt Trade and Stamina. I stuck around Pack-a-Punch for a little while and re-Pack-a-Punch the B23R twice. Honestly, have no idea what other attachments that I may or may not have equipped, but there we are. Now, I can't just make my life easy, can I? And in round 9, I take it down. I run out of ammo with the B23R, and I've not quite got enough points to buy more. I pull out the 1911, get the points I need, and then get myself trapped in the Jug hallway, and we take it down. And because the perma perk is active, I keep all of my perks except Quick Revive, which is a blessing and a curse, as now the only way that I can actually get my perk back is via the ghosts, and of course that requires a luck that I don't have, as our first run back through the mansion, we get Volt Trade. Between the rounds of 12 and 15, I begin to realize that this gun effing sucks. I don't know what happened between Nuketown and Buried, but this gun is straight ass on Buried. Running out of ammo every 30 seconds, zombies soaking up full magazines of bullets. I was hating life at this point, but I soldiered on like the idiot I am. It's now round 16, the mansion lights are back on, and our free perk is calling my name, and of course I get stamina. Now it was back to hating life with my rapid fire pea shooter. Usually with Buried, I'm super relaxed, loving life, enjoying every moment of playing what is my favorite map. Yeah, not today. I haven't hated playing this map so much in my life than I did whilst playing with only the B23R. This gun sucked all the joy from my soul, and quite frankly, I don't want to see this thing ever again. I was actually so someone who quite liked the B23R before going into this, yeah, no, this gun sucks and I hate it so much now. Round 21, and it is finally time to get my quick revive back. A full 13 rounds running around like a madman with this tin pot gun, and I finally have some safety back in my life. Yeah, I then downed the very next round, which is just so poetic. At this point, I knew round 50 was impossible with this thing, so I was honestly just going to settle for around 25. And then, of course, I died around 24. I will not ever be attempting this again so long as I breathe air. Fuck this gun. My brain hurts. Goodbye.